Hey, this is an election. Is really coming on. Trump is every time complaining about things which are not going right. He looks to be losing it. You keep seeing whatever he's talking is not even giving any policy. Complaining, criticizing his opponent, but he's not even giving any tangible evidence. I want you to listen to what he was talking in the rally in Pennsylvania recently.
Drug problem. Why don't you have a drug problem? Because we have the death penalty, he said, for drug dealers. If they sell drugs, they die, he said. So those people that sell drugs, they said, let's go to another country. This is a little bit tough. But they do in many other countries. In countries where you have that, you don't have a drug problem. And we are becoming a drug-infested nation, whether you like it or not. We're becoming a drug-infested nation. So we better get our act together. Years ago, centuries ago, China was taken over numerous times by smaller nations, much smaller nations, because they were all drugged out from the opium fields and all of that. And then one of their very powerful leaders said no more, and they ended it. And we're going to have to end it too, because we're really a country that we're a failing nation in a lot of ways. What they've done to our country is incredible. What is Kamala, who's a total lightweight? Did you see her on television last night? This is going to be the president. This is going to be the president of our country? I don't think so. Sitting propped up in a desk with this guy, this tampon Tim. And it's the first interview she's done in nobody's ever seen anything like it. And if you're too weak to do a one-on-one interview with a person that was so soft, I know Dana, she's always, always nasty. She was so nice to the Democrats. It's much easier to be a Democrat, but we don't agree with their policies because their policies will destroy our nation. So we can't do that. We can't do that. But it was a very weak interview from the standpoint of CNN. I think CNN should be ashamed of themselves. If that were me, aren't they? Sir, I heard you want the death penalty for drug dealers. Why? Well, I'd like to end the drug epidemic, if that's okay.
That is Trump talking in Pennsylvania. I thought he had a good point. That's that guy really prepared. That's even have to complete something. You start and in the middle of something you cut. Okay. In public speaking, you can give a sandwich story, but it should be a sandwich story which is actually promoting what you're talking. He was talking about an example of how China eliminated drugs. But he didn't tell us how he's going to apply the lessons learned from China. Okay, he's talking about the death penalty. And why it is important and why it will do that. And then now he jumps to criticize the interview with Kamala Harris with Dan Bars. And then you really wonder whether that is really, why do you criticize? He criticizes ABC, he criticizes Dana Bars for being gentle. And yet when he goes to search, he comes out complaining that they are not doing enough. He keeps it, he really doesn't like them. That's one of the things. And I want you to look at the interview he did with Fox News with Mark Levin. See even how Mark Levin is so biased.
To him, he answers every question and then some. Big difference between him and his opponent. Go.
I'm looking for a photo of you in the car.
Yeah.
Which is seared in my head. This photo right here.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Well, that was a photo that was taken on the ground. It's an amazing photo.
It's right through the window.
I
car.
had 7 Secret Service people on top of me because by that time I had gone down. And this was a photographer that was taking pictures and I think realized.
Now, that is Trump. Mark Levin starts the interview showing clearly that he's biased. Mark Levin is biased, trying to sweet talk and brings about the story. In his interview, it took about more than 10 minutes talking about assassination. The assassination which was seen live in TV, we know about it. I mean, everybody condemns it. I mean, we don't want anybody to keep. But why do you keep, are you warping sympathy? Are you looking for sympathy that you keep talking about it? Everywhere is talking about it. And Mark Levin is asking questions which actually do not even, I mean, sometimes you wonder what they really want to achieve out of it, because he's trying to ask questions which are just luring the audience. If you can just, you know, listen and hear what he is talking.
What was going through your head right there?
Amazing, really amazing. I felt very clear-headed. I knew I got hit in the ear. I felt I was 100% okay. Secret Service was very brave. They jumped, they were on me very quickly, seconds. I was down, but they were on top of me and bullets were flying right over me. I heard them. I didn't know you could hear a bullet. You hear it just like a whiz sound. And then, by the way, a Secret Service sniper was amazing. This country.
Why do you keep talking about snipers and other things which you really don't understand? And one of the things which really I was surprised is when he is talking about him being a man of faith. Listen.
You've been a man of faith. You go to church. You believe in God. Has this further your belief, your commitment, and obviously God, in addition to that chart, saved your life. He has a purpose for you. Do you think?
Now, at times I wonder what this guy, Mark Levin, when you are interviewing a person, why do you lure a person to your own reason? You know, you are asking a question, luring a person that you are a man of faith. And do you think God helped you for a purpose? Why can't you leave the person you are interviewing to talk about it? So Mark Levin is so biased, and that's why he's talking, but here he's blasting Dana Bash for asking questions. And I thought Dana Bash was asking very professional questions. Than what Trump wants only people who are friendly, who would only ask the questions the way he wants things to be done. And just listen to how he continued to answer for the same question.
Think about these things.
Well, I think you believe more because when you speak to experts, like my sons who are shooting experts, but when you speak to experts, they said there was no chance that he could have missed from that distance. I think he was hurried. I think he was rushed because people were starting to say, like, you know, there's a guy up there with a gun. And I think he was probably rushed.
This is what drives people crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Right now, me too. It's a guy up there with a gun.
I know.
The hell, there's a guy up there
Well,
with a gun.
By the time they started saying it, it was a little bit on the late side. And luckily, he was taken out quickly. But I'll tell you, if he wasn't.
Now, what was that? You are answering the questions, is learning the question, and they are dwelling more in an interview on something everybody saw. You know, Trump is talking about it as if, I saw some theorists who are saying he must have masterminded the assassination. That indeed, maybe Trump was never even shot. Now, I wonder this bullet, where did it pass? I saw he had a bandage. But now when you see that ear, you don't seem to see like there was any that is the same ear which was struck. I don't see any dent, nothing. But you know, I want to read about that, and I hear even the doctors who operated on him were shut from talking about it. Some people were guessing that it was something which was stage managed. And when he fall down there, that's when they pierced something small for blood to come out. I wonder, somebody who has been shot, scared, with that, how could you come from up there and then saying, fight, fight, fight? That remains to be so. But this guy who is called Mark Levin, he's so full of himself that that one leaves a lot to be desired. That leaves a lot to be desired, because the way he was asking his questions, we really may not know exactly what went on there. But that one, we will leave it for other people to see, because if you go through this interview, there are so many things he was full lying about himself, which you can't even understand. Let's listen to this.
This person said, I've never seen a ball come at me like that. I've been playing all my life. I'm a champion player. And it knocked her out, and she's not going to play anymore. You know, you say, when I hear, there are different things, different signs: open borders, defund the police, men playing in women's sports, all different levels of problem. But they don't make sense. Who would want this? Who would want open borders where people come in from prisons, jails, and mental institutions, and terrorists, openly just walk into the country from places unknown? Who would want that? Who would want that? Who would want men playing in women's sports? Very simple. Who would want all electric cars? And Elon's a great friend of mine. I think he's phenomenal. I love the electric cars. I think they're great. But there's a place for them, and then there's a place for gas-propelled, gasoline-propelled cars, and there's a place for hybrids. Buy everything. And they have a mandate, but we don't make enough electricity. So what are they going to do? But you know, who would create this mandate where they want to make trucks all electric, but the trucks would have to stop 6 times to get charged from New York to Los Angeles, as opposed to no times. If you have diesel, with diesel, the truck gets lighter and lighter as it goes along. With the electric, the battery is so big, it would take half the payload. You'd have to rebuild every bridge and roadway in America to carry the weight. Nothing.
Now, Trump is talking about, he only wants to win elections. He is not for the electric car. He wants to say we need to balance. We need not to move. We need to stay where we are. It is funny. You cannot stop change when it comes. This is more than a century that we have been using gasoline and diesel for powering the cars. If the age of electric cars come, you cannot stop it. Change has always been coming. And Trump wants to take people back. Let me tell you, even when somebody invented the mechanical machine, he had a factory, a sewing machine. That time people were using hands to make clothes. But when somebody invented a mechanical machine which can make clothes in the factory easily, some people went and burned that factory down because they were resisting change. What happened? Before Ford started manufacturing cars in big numbers, this country and the rest of the world, the horse was the animal for communication. Horse business was so huge. People were having horses. People were employed making horse sandals. People were employed in the cities to remove horse poop from the street. People were making big business. When the cars started roaring, some people were shocked. They were excited, but they lost their jobs. Those people who were working in the horse industry, all of them were, they didn't have any work because now the business had already been taken by the cars. But did they stay there crying? No, they retooled. They started making roads for cars. Some became owning gas stations. So the cars needed gas everywhere where they are going. Some became mechanics. Some now started repairing cars. And even it created more good jobs than the jobs they were doing with horses. Now, when you are saying you are resisting that, an electric car, a pickup will have to charge 6 times before it go from New York to Los Angeles. How many times does the truck add gas on the way on the same route? It will be more than 6 times probably. So if the new information is coming, so Trump is taking us back to stay with the diesel because he wants to please the people who are mining this petroleum, now oil, to vote for him. A good person is to say that we have to embrace new changes which are coming. So Trump needs to say up to date what he means. You can't continue yelling is because Trump is losing. And you cannot only sit with people like Mark Levine who only want to listen to what you're saying. And I think with this, Trump is seriously losing the battle, which he does not know, that things are changing so fast. And he needs to smell the coffee, that his ideas are of the old. He needs to live in the moment. So if he has to change, but he's really losing his beat very, very fast. If you can listen to what he continues saying there.
Look at that. It sounds like a simple statement, but and I said to him, don't you, because I met with all the truckers, they're going to be out of business with this whole thing. And you talk about supply chain, wait till you see this. But I said to him, so how long have you been in business? He said, 50 years. And I said, wow. He said, I started off with one truck. I think it's 29,000 now, like one of the biggest, right? From one truck to 29, that type of guy. I mean, amazing. But he said, every single year I bought trucks. I always bought them. And they got better and better. They got stronger.
Now, Trump is talking as if we are in the 20th century. If business is going to change, it's only a matter of doing that. We need to retool. We need to have trucks which are electric. we need to have. Right now, we are having hybrid, the one which uses gas and electric at the same time, which means we are adapting to change. The only thing in this world which is constant is change. And I think Trump needs to embrace change